Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Arlton. So, Arlton, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So, can you please tell us your full type?
Yeah, so ISTP jumper, TINI audio, sleep consume, blast play. Oh, and social type 3, I
Okay,
think. Yeah.
cool, man. And what did you think, and how did you feel when you got your typing results back?
Yeah, well, I was kind of already processing this type for like I think 2 months. I was already because at first when I got into OPS, I thought I was an INTP, and then I started seeing like the SCNI coin, and then I was like, maybe I could be that, and then I thought it was play last for like 2 months, and then like I think like a week before my typing, like I seen the questions, I watched a couple videos, and I was like, I kind of see my blast problems a ton, so I thought I was blast last. But all the modalities and the social type I kind of seen, and then like cider stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, uh, you are the same type as someone in the community. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to talk to him before.
Is it Uzair?
Is
Yeah.
there? Yeah, yeah. Except I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the social type is different because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but no, that's cool that we have a second play last ISTP jumper. It's cool. It's also cool because you saw yourself as an INTP, and in traditional Myers-Briggs, like you would be an INTP, right? Because
Yeah. Yeah.
there's like the jumper type doesn't exist there, and I
Hmm.
also think the TINIs are like a little bit harder to type. So I'm kind of curious, like how did you go about like figuring out that you're this type, and then how do you think like did Dave and Chan explain to you how they end up with your type and whatnot?
Um, I think it was like because at first I think there's like an anecdote about like SI about how for some reason in like Myers-Briggs land or like when I searched up SI I couldn't really understand it, but the best way I understood it like a couple months ago was like something about like memories and like how like if they seen like a certain object or something like they could return it back to like their memory and have some sort of world around it. And so I was like that's kind of like what I do, but I think that like that anecdote was like I think most people do that, or like they'll see an object that reminds them of something, or like maybe it's like I don't know, for some reason I thought that was an SI thing. So I was just like, oh, maybe I have the SI any coin. And then I think I watched one of their videos and it was like it was something about like NI having like one concept and then like having like a shitload of like random examples that kind of are like disconnected, but like all unify the NI concept. So I was like, and also I did see like one of those videos where kind of how the NE or I mean the NI SE coin is kind of like they'll like grab a shitload pile just for like this random one like possibility. And like that's kind of what I do. Like with my backpack, I'll like random like I think I remember when I was in high school, I used to like grab random shit. Like my backpack was like heavily disorganized and like I would like just keep things in there for like just that random time where it would come up in like school. I don't know. But I think it was like definitely seeing like I would say I would like keep returning to the one concept and then just saying like random examples like oh that car, that person, well blah blah blah. But I think I'm not really sure what they said about how to like how they ran across to get my type. I think in the audio they were saying I was having a ton of observer problems, but I wasn't really triggered by it. I was more triggered about the people issues more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the funny thing about ops is like you know observers can have people problems, but they kind of like
Hmm.
don't get triggered by it for some reason, even though they have
Yeah, yeah,
vice versa for you guys. Like you guys could have things problem, but you just don't care enough, to get triggered by it.
yeah, yeah. Because I don't know. I see myself having a ton of observer problems, but I can see the decider problems too. And like, I don't know. I think the weird feeling is that like, at least now in my, I don't know how would I put this timeline of growth. I feel like I can like double deciding at least in perspective land isn't hard for me. I think it's just like the initial like trigger and fear that comes up where it's just like, I don't really want to fix that. I think it's like the action after like realizing type of thing. I
Uh,
think that's it for me. Yeah.
for
For
decider
like
or observer
yeah,
problem.
for decider problems, I feel like when like a decider problem like comes up, like I think at least now it's not hard for me to like switch perspectives. I think it's like the action after that and like the fear of judgment after going about it for sure.
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't think you are blast last because I'm talking to you right now and you're pretty well spoken. Like you are not like you know, like how to describe blast last people is like mumble fucks. So
I
you're
yeah,
not
I
a
thought I
mumble
was
fuck.
blast last at first.
Dude,
I think
you are so well spoken, man. You are not a mumble fuck. You know, like you can articulate your thought, you know, into words.
yeah, I think in the typing interview, I submitted one typing interview. I mean, one my first one, and then I thought I was like I didn't talk about my struggles enough. And then I think at the end of each video, I was saying like this is a bunch of like blast last talk because I kept like going all over the place. I think that was like just probably like feminine NI or something. But I don't know. I think I at the time of after the interview, I kept thinking that I was like jumping all around and like channel changing for some reason. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean you don't channel change if you're like, you know, like
Hmm.
a lead organizer. It's just
Yeah,
like
true.
it's still within your category that you would
Hmm.
change with, right? It's not like a completely different category, you know, that you would channel change to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I guess it would be your extrovert sensing that you would channel change with, like, you know, like different random facts that you would use, but they're connected, in terms of like supporting that NI concept, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, dude, let's go over your animals. Your first animal is NT sleep. Um, and it's double activated. And it's half masculine and half feminine. So, how do you personally experience that specific animal, you know, like the double activated NT sleep?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Um, how would I put it? I feel like I think that or I think I like to describe like NT sleep as like or I like name it as like um either like a lab or like a home in like my mind since it's the savior. But I feel like for anything that like comes in, like if I'm like entering a new place or like learning something new, it's like I always have to put it into some box somewhere or like vaguely. It's not like anything that's like random or if I don't quite understand what like I'm learning new, I'll like keep it outside of the lab or the home. But as soon as I kind of see a similarity or like a parallel within that like certain thing I'm learning, um it'll go in like vaguely in the box, I guess, the NI box. But I don't know. I think I definitely see my NI more than my TI. I guess it's because the TI is first. I can't really see TI. I think the TI is like for some reason with TI, I kind of just get if something's wrong or right. But with NI, it's like I feel like NI does so much filtering for me, or at least for me, I feel like. But the way I kind of see NT sleep is like I try to like boil it down like anything I learned to like the most simple core. Like so if I'm learning something in history, I'll like put some random bullshit name on what's happening. I think there was like a concept I was learning in history in like high school and then like there was something about I think there was a term called yellow journalism. I'm probably wrong about what I'm about to say. So there was like a term called yellow journalism in history, and then it was basically a concept about like I think newspapers or like people would start conflict on newspapers, and then I think my random like anti bullshit way of summarizing it was saying that it was like YouTubers creating clickbait for like making conflict on YouTube, but just in history terms. But yeah, I think like it's for NT sleep, I feel like is so I don't know how would I put this, like kind of selfishly subjective, where it's just like whatever it takes in, it's not, you're not really looking at it. You're kind of just looking at it in your subjective way at first, so you can understand it the best way you can. So for me, it's like just putting like one phrase to what I'm like learning, and that phrase has to be something I can like already understand. Yeah.
When it comes to NT sleep, what have you noticed is your reoccurring pattern that is true about yourself? Because that's like NITI, right? Like NI is reoccurring and TI is true, right? So what would you say is like has been like reoccurringly true about you? And can you tell me like some good stuff and some bad stuff that is like reoccurringly true about you? You know, just like,
Yeah.
give me both, the good and the bad.
Yeah, I think um I feel like I feel like first I can point out like a lot of the bad stuff. I feel like at least self patterns is like the play last patterns. So I have a girlfriend, I think, um and like one of my main problems is that like I just can't start conversations, or like I feel like I'll run out of things to say super fast, or like there's just isn't enough like interesting things to like talk about, or if like she's talking about something that like I feel like is boring or not in my box, like I'll kind of just like I'll kind of just like doze off and like and or like it's kind of bad, but I think another self pattern, yeah, I think it's the most self patterns I can see is with like play last issues, and then what's another one I can find? Yeah, if I'm like at parties, I won't jump in or I won't interact. I was just at my graduation party yesterday with my parents and family. And the thing is, it was just, well, it was just a ton of new people I didn't know. It was like some kid's graduation at a whole different school, and I haven't seen like um my parents' friends in a long time. So it was just like not my, either one, it wasn't my crowd, or two, I wasn't gonna jump in and just like, I don't know, have a play blast fucking time there and like take shots. But um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really name some more. I feel like maybe a positive one is that I feel like planning isn't super terrible for me. Yeah. I think when I'm going like places, um, like I'll like try and double observe my way out to making it so like making anything the most like easy as possible or most efficient. So like if I'm planning like a date or a place I'm going, I'll like research like where I'm going, the time it takes to go there, and then where I'm gonna park just to avoid like random chaos, or yeah, I feel like with NT sleep, I feel like for me, I have to play it out in my head first, for sure. I think that's one thing I can see.
So I guess with the anti-sleep, you're also really good at figuring things out, especially
Yeah, yeah,
because it's NT, right?
sure.
Like NT is like problem solving. So,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
maybe your superpower
Hmm.
is like being able to like figure things out, essentially.
Yeah. I think I can see that a ton, but at the same time I could just be dumb. But I don't know.
I
I
guess you're
think
I guess you're play last, so you don't know who to compare to.
yeah. I don't know, because sometimes like yeah, I'm a dumbass, but sometimes like yeah, I'm smart on that spectrum, I guess. But I think with like at least the functions, if I'm like TI first, it doesn't mean like I'm smart, but it's just like the obligation. It's just a function like to like I feel obligated to use, but
Yeah.
sometimes I can turn out ending up smart by using TI or not. But yeah.
Okay. And then your second animal is a gathering animal. It's ST consume. It's double masculine. So you're gonna be like using a lot of this like double masculine ST consume of yours. So even though you're like, you know, organize over gather, your gather is actually has a stronger pull than your sleep animal, especially because it's your first and second function also. So in
Hmm.
terms of like
Hmm.
potential for growth, your SD consume actually has like the biggest capacity, right? So like can you share with me like what has your experience been like with that like SD consume, like gathering facts and having that external image that you might project to others and others might see from you of competence because ST is also tied to competence, right? So
Is it?
yeah, ST is competence. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why those guys like ESFJ, ISFJ, INTP, and
Yeah,
ENTP have ST sleep, so their identity is tied to competence. So being incompetent is like
really.
insult that they could ever get, especially if you are like an EJ, right? For you, you have it. as your consume. So it's not like not the worst thing. Being called like a stupid or whatever, or like dumb or whatever, like because it's NT, like unable to figure things out. That would be like a bigger attack on your identity. Like not being wise. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, what was the question again? I couldn't really get the ST consume question.
Sure, yeah, no worries,
What's the
dude. So
question?
yeah, I just wanted to hear. It's like a two-part question almost. So the first part,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, you know, the first part of the question is because you're double masculine ST consume,
Mhm.
do you feel like you are actually aggressively gathering facts, and it's for the purpose of your NT, obviously, to support the NT, but like, are you aggressively gathering the facts as a result of having that double masculine animal? And then the second part of the question is because consume is part of self-awareness, where sleep is internal self-awareness and consume is external self-awareness, kind of like becoming a ghost and seeing yourself from a third person perspective. Um, and because your consume is ST in flavor, would you say you are projecting an image of the tribe of competence? Like you're trying to like come across as someone that knows how to do shit, right? Like you can get things, like you know how to do shit. Like you're not someone that's incompetent, like you're able to
Yeah,
do.
I want to. I want to. But I think with double masculine ST consume, not to throw off the topic, but I think what did you I watched one of your interviews and you're talking about how double masculine consume is like they like to eat fast or like eat aggressively. I think I relate to that one for sure though.
Yeah, that's like the surface stuff. It's like the
I
double.
don't know if that's actually like really true, but that is one thing I see. Like I eat super fast for sure. But
Yeah. So
at
far,
least
everyone I've interviewed that had double masculine consume seems to eat really fast. But that's just like the
yeah,
surface layer, though.
yeah, yeah. And the thing is I think it's funny because um I can eat really fast and I can eat a lot, but like the I guess I guess since I eat like really fast, the triggering in my body to tell I'm full, like I'll kind of ignore it. Or if it comes, like I'll like it'll come like right after eating so much, but like if I start feeling full and I see more food, I'll be like I'll ignore the full feeling, which is funny. But uh how would I put this? Aggressively looking for facts? Uh I think so. I think I think I just have like a natural respect for I think because I'm masculine SE like with ST consume I can't really ignore like the hardcore facts like for some reason yeah I just can't ignore them. I don't know how to put like oh well actually I could say yeah aggressively. I think when I'm running into problems in like life or just yeah when in life in general, like when I go search up for a problem on like Google, like I remember like it's just a random thing I keep doing, but like maybe some other people do it. But all like all I think so a couple years back I had chronic pain, stomach issues. I had chronic stomach issues for some reason, but now it's gone. But when it did happen, um, I think I was aggressively looking on like Google or the internet just trying to find like an answer to what I was like feeling. So I would go down like Quora, I went down the Reddit route, I went down basically anywhere you can find. I went down to like the spiritual woo woo shit on YouTube. I think I think part of at least for me, it's like trying to find like every answer kind of as fast as possible. So with any problem I have in life, I'll literally think like I should just search this up. And then if Quora has it, if YouTube has it, if Reddit has it, or if Discord has it, thank God. I think that's one thing. Um, and I'm like sifting through the facts just to serve my NT sleep. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll take like SE facts kind of almost too seriously sometimes where like I remember I'll like go down I would go down the Google route and then I'll find out, oh shit, I have cancer. And I was like, you ever get those where like you feel like a pain in your stomach or like in your head and then you for some reason you feel like it's a little bit off. So then you just search something up on Google to like clarify your understanding. And then, they say a whole bunch of bullshit like fucking you have cancer, you have blah 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 dog shit in your stomach. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah, I think
Dr. Google is always telling people you have cancer. That's like
I know. I know. Yeah, I think I used to get scared of that at first, but yeah. I think what's the second part?
oh, it's projecting an image of competence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I used to do that a ton in school. I think at least in the beginning, and then after I didn't really care as much, but how do I put this? I think I would say at least in school, I would always t like if we had just gotten like test papers back or something. Like if I got a bad score, actually no, I don't have a problem admitting I had like a bad score on like a test, but I think I was definitely insecure. Like if I wasn't competent at something, I would be insecure about it. I wouldn't say like I would like try to like show like a sense of competence, but like if I wasn't competent at something, like if I was on like the lower end, I guess me being a decider, blah blah, but if I wasn't, then I would start feeling insecure. So like I think I remember so I used to do swimming practice. I used to competitively swim for like a couple years. And like in the beginning, like I think I was pretty fast in the whole group thing. Forgive me, this is my whole decider like fucking story, but um yeah, so in the beginning I was like I was kind of at the top because I was pretty fast, and then like after a couple years I started getting lazy and then going down, and I started feeling insecure because like shit, how did people just join and now they're faster than me when I've been doing this for blah 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 longer. I think it was like whenever I feel incompetent at like doing some sort of like job or a task, I'll be like, damn, I didn't I'll definitely feel insecure about it, but I'm not quite sure about like trying to show an air of competence. I feel like if I were to show an air of competence, it would be like I feel like I feel like it would be in trying to like explain a joke for sure. I don't know
oh,
how to explain that, but
I see.
what? Yeah.
You care a lot about the SF play, so that's why like that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think when it comes how do I put it for example? So the thing is, I think the ST consume or like trying to air off my competence, it really does come out. I'm saying I don't like to, but like it comes off super unconscious. So like I think for example, if I'll tell a joke to my girlfriend and like she doesn't get it, or like I'll tell a lot of jokes to my girlfriend and she'll like not get it. But like as soon as she like says like I don't really get it, I'll like try to explain like the whole thing.
yeah.
And then like I'll catch myself saying like, "Oh my God, I'm doing like the whole like ST report like I don't know how to explain it, but like trying to like get into all the details and examples of it or like trying to like I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I can't
Moment
really explain it, but like
the moment
I
you
don't
have to explain a joke, the joke sucks already. Like you
yeah, it sucks already because then like now I have to explain it and then now I look like I'm trying to be like some dude on his high horse trying to explain like some dumb joke that she probably didn't laugh about at all. But
yeah. No, all I'm saying is like if you had to explain a joke, it's a shit joke. Like good jokes you don't have to explain. People get it, right? So and it sounds like
yeah, yeah,
your definition of competence is actually being SF cool. So like, I think
yeah,
SF last, right? So it's like, oh, that's
yeah,
your Trojan horse, you could say. Like it's like, oh, like if I don't figure that out, that like, being cool, likable thing, like
right, right,
you're incompetent. That's kind of like it's interesting to see like you're probably competent in a lot of things, but it's so subconscious you don't even care. Because frankly, you don't give a shit about it, right? But because you care about your last animal, the SF play, right? So like
yeah,
that's where you're
yeah,
tunnel visioning on. It's like, oh, this is what competence is, being good socially, right? Like
yeah, yeah. I think early, I think like early in my years in childhood, um, I always had like as soon as I so back in like in grade school around like fifth, or I think I would say sixth grade, seventh grade. Like I used to get bullied a lot, but then whatever, I'm past that. I think ever since then, I don't know. I always had this weird fascination with SF since then, because I'm like processing why I'm not the cool guy, and then why are they the cool guys? Like, am I considered a nerd or what? And then like I always had this weird fascination with like group dynamics on like who people thought was like the cool guy. And I would like analyze like, why is he the fucking cool guy? Why am I not the cool guy? Or like, why is he there? Why is she there? And I would like start, it was just such a like dumb fuck of like decider NT sleep where it's just like you're thinking too much about it. And like I think one thing, or at least I've always like one NI concept I keep going back onto, like especially like the SF play, is kind of just to like literally just play around and be natural. Because like a lot of times I really am just overthinking it way off, like way off. But yeah. I think I always had like a weird fascination with it. So ever since then I'm like, you go on like the YouTube rabbit hole of like trying to figure out social interactions. That's pretty much what I did. Like I think for a good minute, or I think I still do it to this day, but if I don't figure out something in like social interactions or what that is, I'll like literally search it up on YouTube because I'm just like, well, the answer's there. It's somewhere out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I get your struggle because like frankly, we both have the same animal flavors, like exact order, right? We're both NT, ST, NF, SF. So
Hmm.
so everything that you said, I can relate to. The biggest difference between us though is I'm a double decider and you're single decider, right?
Hmm.
So like when you're trying to figure out like why am I not the cool kid? For me, like I know why I'm not the cool kid and it hurts, right? But for you, it's like
Yeah.
it hurts and I don't know why. It's like uh
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah. I think at least for now, I kind of know why now, but back then it was like, maybe it's because I don't have that cool fucking backpack or something. I would always blame it on the thing, or I couldn't get to the point where I could blame it on myself,
yeah,
or so I think in grade school I used to get bullied about like watching anime, blah blah blah. And then like I would try to analyze, I'm like, you guys just don't get it. Like anime is cool or something. Or like I would try to think about it. I'm like, and it would never go to the point where like, oh, maybe I'm weird about the anime thing. But then like now looking back at it, it's so much easier to see. But I think at the time it was like you're so, at least in the time I was stuck in Deciderland where it was just like they don't get it. It's all in on my perspective or whatever. But yeah, I think at least now, like I said, like the seeing the other perspectives and seeing why I'm not cool isn't hard at all anymore. I think it's just like acting on the initial fear. Yeah.
right. I want to touch on to your next animal. I do want to go back to the SF sleep, but or sorry, SF play. But you mentioned earlier when you were talking about your SD consume that when you're doing research, you're not just looking for the facts, you're also looking at the woo stuff. So it clearly tells me that you respect the NF also. And it's interesting to hear that because you do have NF third, so it's not missing. Like it is there.
Hmm.
So there is like a part of you that uh, respects the NF to an extent, right? Like there is some use to it, and it's there is some truth to it also. Your NF blast though is double feminine, so I think that's the part where you're gonna be a little bit more unsure about it. Even though you respect it, you're still gonna be unsure about it. Can you
Hmm.
share a little bit about like your NF blast? Let's start with the flavor first, the NF flavor itself of like believing the quote unquote woo woo stuff, and then followed by using. You know what? Let's start with this before I give you the follow up question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, the NF. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I see NF a ton in like in a ton of like relationship stuff. So like if my friend has like a so I have this friend, I think he's a lead. I think he's an ENFP sleep last, kind of similar to you. Or he might be an ESFP. I'm not sure. I just know he's a double decider. But and like sleep is a demon. But I think for some reason, so kind of our friendship is that like he runs into so much like weird like like not I don't know how I put this, like tribe chaos. Like every week I'm like, bro, this happened, and he's in college, and then there's just a whole bunch of shit happening. And then like and then the whole I think recently he got into like a breakup, and I feel like whenever somebody talks to me about relationship stuff, I feel like this obligation to just like give them how would I put this, all this woo woo like advice to be like wise or something. But I think it always shows up in relationships. I can see the NF blast. So um yeah, when like someone's talking to me about a relationship, the way I kind of talk to them is like um I don't know. Kind of, yeah, I think it was just like this in this like NF way where if I'm giving them advice, it would be like, you know, they're not really reading between the lines of like what they're saying, or this is what they say, but this is what they really mean. You're not really looking at their like facial expressions, kind of like literally NIFE, but or when I'm giving them advice, I'm like always giving them like, well, this is kind of like the point or of the whole thing, or something like that. I don't know. I think since it is like double feminine, it's not really easy for me to blast. So I think I've had a ton of like blast issues when it comes to like even my own relationship problems, or like I'll literally just call up emotions and stuff like that. And like I wouldn't tell like my girlfriend I have an issue with this or whatever like that, because since it's like feminine, I don't know how to describe it. I didn't really like believe in it being like TI reasonable. So I was like, I just won't say it. But or like ST reasonable, because I would respect like the ST facts, and I'll be like, well, that isn't true. Yeah, that isn't true. So I can't really say that. So I knew there was kind of an NF side of things, but like it wasn't something I was willing to like push on because I respected the ST more. But I think that I don't know. I always see NF in relationships, and like whenever someone comes up to me about like a relationship problem, it's I'm always giving them like NF woo woo bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like bullshit, but I don't think NF is bullshit at all.
Yeah.
I think it's only bullshit coming from double activated NF people. Like, if you have activated NF, you are saying bullshit. No offense, but kind of making an offense. Like, I'm trying to offend you. But anyways, like you're full of shit. But anyways, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the NF has to be balanced with ST for it to be legit. So you
Yeah.
have ST and NF in the middle. So your balance with the NF and ST is going to be legitimate.
Hmm.
I'm the same as you. I have NF and ST in the middle. So I 100% believe in NF. NF is super real. It's super useful.
Yeah.
It's only because I also see the ST benefit of the NF. And I see that how the ST benefits the NF and the NF benefits the ST, and they kind of work in harmony. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but there's also like going too far with the NF also. So like, there's people who talk about like, oh, the secret or like vibration and all that shit, right? And then I'm like, your life fucking sucks. So clearly, like whatever you're vibrating is vibrating you the wrong place, whatever, like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like, and I'm
Yeah.
watching like an Owen Cook video, and he's saying things like, he has like a lot of like hippie friends, like NF hippie friends, and he said you can't trust them, like and like he was using funny language too, like it's like he doesn't know about OPS, but he knows the balance
Hmm.
NF and ST, right? So he'll say things like, I don't know if you have seen Owen Cook videos, but like
I
um
haven't. I haven't.
okay, so it's like David Chan uses it as one of the alphas for ENFPs, right? Is Owen Cook.
Hmm.
I would recommend watching his videos if you can. Have you seen Julian Blanc's videos? He's Owen Cook's friend.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I think I seen, yeah, is Julian Blanc the ISTP?
yeah,
And he did like dating stuff?
yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
feminine ISTP, consume, play, blast, sleep. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, no, he's my favorite ISTP. Like he has like the highest level ISTP in my opinion. Like if you're an ISTP, you want to go to the next level, understanding FE and emotions. This guy knows it. Like
Hmm.
because he has I don't know if you've ever seen his ladder. He has like a emotional ladder. Oh my God, it is like gold. It is like so good. Like obviously,
Hmm.
I'll send you a link to it. But like but like it's gold. But anyways, like back to Owen Cook. So he was like he had a video. He was like talking about people with like lead NF people versus like lead SD people in normal people language, not OPS terms, obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like he referred to the SD people as like get money, look good, look good,
Yeah, go do your fucking taxes.
yeah, like like
Yeah,
look good, like everything physical, right? SD,
right.
get the house, get the money, get the business,
Mhm.
finance, all that shit, right? And then you go with like and then he talks about like the NF people's like, oh, we're all one, one with the world, peace on earth, holding hands, smoking weed, uh,
Yeah,
psychedelics, all that shit, right? And then
yeah.
he's like, those people, those NF people, you can't trust them. Pretty much, he said, like those hippies, you can't trust them. He said, because they talk about NF so much that like if you leave your money on the table, they will steal it. Because he said that they're
Mhm.
not in touch with ST, so when they see ST, they're like, oh, like and it's like it's crazy when he said that. I'm like, it's true. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to be balanced with this, otherwise you're gonna be crazy. So, that's why I think like the balance with ST and NF is like super important because like and you have it and like the Julian Blanc guy has it and it's like yes, so you have this NF concept, but there's like ST steps on how to follow the NF stuff, right? To make
Mhm.
yourself emotionally better. Like Julian Blanc, for example, like he'll say, if you are in apathy and the next step after apathy is grief, then the best advice for that person is actually not to tell them take responsibility for your life. It's actually to tell that person you are a victim. And then like the OPS teachings is like you should never allow someone to be a victim. But actually, that's wrong. Because I was like listening to what David Chan says, and I completely respect what David Chan says about this. But I'm definitely gonna send them this link with like what Julian is saying because Julian has like field experience, with like the ST stuff.
Yeah,
And he distilled it to NF, right? So he's like, if someone is in apathy, tell them they're a victim and they're gonna get out of apathy as a result, because they'll be like, it's not
right.
my fault, I'm apathetic, like I'm the victim here.
Yeah,
And then like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
and then like he said now they go to grief. It's like, oh no, I'm the victim, right? Because now grief now and then after
Uh-huh.
and then the next step after grief is fear, right? So you tell them, oh, aren't you scared that that you're the victim here? And it's like and then there's like a ladder that you fucking follow on.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
holy shit, like this ISTP guy figured this out.
Oh,
Like of
holy
all
shit.
times, it was like an ISTP. And I'm like, I am so like like
Yeah.
for you guys, like I now see what you're like that like the 10 out of 10 version of ISTP. I've seen it, I've
Mhm.
seen it now, and I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy for
Like
sure.
you guys your NF blast can actually be better than INFJs and ENFJs. That is so disgusting, like because with your ST,
It's so
like
disgusting.
no, 'cause with your ST
Yeah,
consume,
yeah.
like you have so much like life experience because of the ST consume, and like event like I know you're young, but like because you do have
Mhm.
it in a savior state, you will eventually have it. By the time you're ready to distill to NF, oh dude, you are gonna be like unstoppable because there's the NF is only as strong as the ST, right? Like the NF is essentially like an organized version of the ST, right? Like especially with your NT sleep, like you'll be able to figure this out and then create the NF blast, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and then you'll be the cool guy at the end. You're the SF
Yeah,
cool
yeah. Yeah, that's so funny because I kind of see like the same pattern of like SF people going into NT. Since they grabbed all the SF, like they have all the SF information to go into the NT. So if they go do the NT route, they're like they have the whole map, basically. They have it all. So yeah, seeing like a ST guy go into NF, it's like you're definitely winning. Because then now you have all the ST information. Like, yeah, you got your taxes done. Yeah, you have your house, you have your financial stability. But like if you're going to NF land, you're not combining, but you're combining of how it connects into the NF. So you can only get stronger with the NF, I feel like. Yeah.
the NF's goal is eventually like love and self-actualization, right? That's kind of like the
Hmm.
so I think with you guys with like your ST consume, I think you'll be able to like use the ST to like have the materials and then use your NT to puzzle it out. And then the NF
Yeah.
surprisingly enough, it's like, oh, so if I do this, this, and this, people will love me and I will be self-actualized and I can also love myself. And and it's like crazy, right? Like, but
Hmm.
then you need the materials first, obviously, and you only get that from
Yeah,
life experience and hardship and
right,
adversity, right? Um,
right.
so, but it's cool that you seeing like you having that in a balanced state, like the NF and the ST. You're slightly more to the ST than the NF, but like the fact that it's still
Hmm.
activated, it's like, oh, you're not gonna mess this up as you get older. Like this is gonna be like an area where you're gonna eventually like get good at this, like by default, because of the
Yeah, yeah.
having.
I'm kind of glad I have NF not last. I think I thought I had it last at first, but like, I don't know. I think I'm just glad I don't have it last. Because
Dude,
I see a ton of NF last, and I'm like, you're missing it. I had this one teacher. I think he might be like an ISTJ or like a I think ISTJ or INTJ, but like he completely blasts around this whole concept in high school where like work hard, you're never a victim, you work hard. I think he was doing pretty good. So like he had a rough childhood and then like he worked his way up. He went to Harvard, whatever. And he's like doing the flex thing. I don't know his type, but
yeah,
he was basically doing a ton of flexing, a ton of blasting. And like the whole class was just cringing because then I think he was saying all that and it was like, guess how much money I have in my bank account, guess how much money, and he was like right over there, it's $500,000. He would just flex his ST so much, and
yeah,
then like and then he would talk about his home life in his apartment, and it was bad because it was like so he started explaining like his apartment like routine. So like he's basically like a super saver, super conservative saver, and like he flexes that a ton, like save your money, don't buy it on bullshit, don't buy this or whatever. But to get to the point, he he lives so he has the money. We know he has a ton of money in his savings, and he lives in his apartment, and he's explaining his apartment and his whole thing, and he was just explaining how he lives off of canned foods only. He sleeps on this super thin mattress and he won't buy himself a good table. He'll buy like a super plastic table and like he has just a bunch of like broken thing or like you think it would be like ST like it ST works, right? But I feel like in the long run it's like it's gonna catch up to you because it's like you're always living in like a place and no judgment to him. Like if it works for him, it works for him because at the end of the day he's saving money and like he's doing the ST thing. But like I feel like in the long run it's like at least in the NF world, it's like, well, if you keep doing that, you're gonna like have a crash where it's just like, I'm not, because you're like putting all you're banking on it, you're banking on the ST so much that like you never have to worry about anything else. So basically, like if he has one day where his like fucking table breaks or his mattress for some reason doesn't work, it's like, or something happens where like he's unhappy, he can't like go off of something anymore because he's relying on the ST so much.
yeah.
Because like, yeah, I think, because like let's say, what's it called? It kind of relate. I watched, have you watched Uzair's video? I think he had something about like low consume or something like that.
I
I don't
don't
know
know.
if you watched it.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I watched an Uzair vid and it was talking about how like, he was explaining how this guy has this shitty car and he goes to work and then like his meeting like he has this like he's conserving a ton of money and stuff like that or like he has this shitty car he has cheap shit and he goes to work and like the meeting gets canceled and then like he's like fuck now I'm mad. He's banking all up on the car. But then whereas the other guy has SF cool shit. At least like, oh, I'm waking up in this nice house. I can see the patio. I have this nice view.
Yeah,
Um, I have the speakers. I can play my fucking favorite music and I have this nice car. And then
yeah,
he goes to a meeting and it gets canceled. At least now he's a little bit happy. He has this nice car.
right.
But
Right.
yeah, I think it was just like seeing that ST NF balance. It's like you can you can't go all in on like anything. I think that's kind of like the message of OPS is just like you can't bank on or like go in on like really anything, or
Yeah.
else you're gonna be like fucked in the end.
I think based on your story also with your teacher that is like bragging about his ST like life, with like the house and the bank account and like the garbage furniture that barely functional just to make money. Like
Yeah.
what I got out of it is like number one, like when you don't respect NF, I feel like you're in scarcity mindset because like I feel like your professor, even though
Yeah.
he has like money, I feels like he's always scared that he's gonna lose money or because like that's why
Yeah.
right? So that's like, and then like when you're like in a scarcity mindset, then you can't allow abundance in. And if you can't allow abundance in, people can
Hmm.
off
Hmm.
you. And if people can sense off that you're in scarcity, then that means you're low value, right? And if you're low value, then no
Right.
one wants to invest in you, and no one invests in you, you actually make less money. So actually, he's making less money because of his
Yeah.
of being like an ST cheap ass, right? And then like
Yeah.
the other thing with NF2 is like your life has no purpose and meaning, right? Is your purpose and meaning to save money? That's so stupid, right? Like, like
Yeah. At some point, you're gonna have to spend it on something you're actually NF happy about, you know? I
yeah,
think
so like
that's the
you feel
point.
good about living your life, not just like, like feel good like being a cheap ass,
Hmm.
saving money, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely like the NF ST balance is off in that case, right? And then so it's cool that you're balanced with that. So I think like whoever's watching this can like, and especially if they have like NF last. Like the problem with NF last too is like it's hard to convince them that NF is real. Like I think that's like the most
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's
like the
just
most
like,
yeah. It's like one last thing before I let you finish.
yeah, yeah, keep going.
I just wanted to say like it's hard to convince because NF is like the most like crazy animals of them all, right? Like you can convince someone with NT last, NT is real. You can convince someone with ST last that ST is real. And you can convince someone with SF last that SF is real. Because you can see the SF and ST, right? And NT is kind of like a no-brainer. Like, oh, this person's good at figuring things out, good at problem solving, right? But you can't convince someone that like the woo NF stuff is real, right? Like you cannot, like it's so crazy, even though it is real. It is fucking real. But it's like how are you gonna convince someone with NF last that it's real, right? Like so like that's why I think for you it's like a blessing that you're not NF last, you're like SF last, because SF you can see it, right? So at least you believe it's real, and at least you have like a tangible goal to like get there. But like the NF is like what? Like how do you even achieve NF, right? Like if that's your goal, it's like it's so intangible and like crazy, It sounds like psychotic almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, it's super weird because every time you kind of explain to an NF, they'll always resort every time you explain NF to an NF last person, they'll always resort to the ST, who are like, well, just take the facts seriously. This isn't what's said, or like, you ever think that like the ST has an effect on something, Like that can't be the only world that exists. But yeah, for sure.
All right, dude, let's talk about your last animal. SF play last. This is your what do you call it? This is the lifelong struggle that you'll have. Like this is gonna be like the final
Hmm.
boss.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so SF play. So there's many aspects to SF play. Let's start with the more surface layer stuff before we go to the deeper stuff. Okay. So the most surface layer stuff is gathering what's cool and popular from the tribe. So have you ever like asked your tribes like, hey, what's cool right now? Like what shoes is cool? What like, who's cool? So it could be who or it could be what, right? Right? Like, have
Yeah.
you ever
Yeah.
taken a chance to use your SF play to like gather who's cool or what is cool? Either things or people, from the tribe.
Yeah. I think I definitely use it like on YouTube. So
But like
kind of,
actual friends of
yeah, actually, yeah, actual friends. Shit. Okay.
like,
Well,
have you
you're
talked
putting
to
me on
them?
the
Because it's
spot.
play. You have.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're using
yeah,
Zoom, right? If you're watching YouTube, so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know. I'll always resort to YouTube. But yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think my way of seeing like SF play is like with that one crazy sleep demon double decider friend I have. I think he shows me a bunch of SF. He'll So we do music together. I make beats and then he raps or makes music on the beats. But basically like he'll always show me a ton of like cool people who he'll think is cool. So he'll show me like um he'll show me this one rapper, or he'll show me like these clothes he really likes. And I think that's one aspect of it, and I'll ask him more about like what's cool about it, or like what other videos I think he might be like feminine sensory, so he shows me a ton of like music videos. So yeah, he'll show me a bunch of He'll show me a bunch of like these weird ass music videos. So he's into horror sometimes, and it's just like, what the fuck? But yeah, I think I'll ask him more about how do I put this? Like m more of what he likes, like all the SF cool stuff. Like, oh, what clothes does he like? Like, what are the coolest brands right now? Or what's like the coolest music like people are listening to? I don't know. I get away with seeing the SF through my ST a ton because I'm like on like TikTok or like YouTube. I feel like SF isn't like a hard like the actual modality or the letters SF isn't hard to like see if I'm getting away with it through ST because I'm like on when I'm like on TikTok, I'm always kind of consuming SF stuff. But I think how do I put this? Um I think so at work, I was asking my coworkers, do you guys think I'm like fucked if I get like a tattoo on my hand at this age? I'm 18 by the way, but
That's so young. Of course you can.
no, yeah, I was just thinking like, do you guys think that I'll always like ask them like, is this cool or is this not cool? Like clothes wise, something like that. And I feel like that's different for you because you have SF sleep. You don't care about like what other people I don't know SF like because yours SF sleeps because you're just like you just like it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's it for you, but
I'll think what people say. Like I'll take it into consideration. Like I'll watch
Mhm.
people with S. Like I was watching this one channel. He's this guy's giving fashion advice, right, for Asian guys. And then like
Yeah.
I was like watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a lot of good tips for SF, like how to SF
Hmm.
dress yourself. Like I didn't agree with everything. And the reason why I didn't agree with everything is because I feel like personality is also part of fashion. So it's like,
Yeah.
like I was like, yeah, I know, like yes, for like an Asian guy, I can look good in this, and this like combination of outfits and stuff. But but like my personality also is like this, so I feel like I'm gonna ignore this, and this just because even though they could potentially look good at me, it doesn't match my personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's it's not
For
like
sure.
it's not like I'm not gonna like take it seriously. It's like just like with you have anti sleep, right? But it doesn't mean you're not gonna take people's logic seriously, right? Just because
Hmm.
like you'll take
Hmm.
it into consideration and you'll filter through your NT and see if it like matches you, right? Or whatever, right? Or fits in your worldview, right? And if it does, you're like, okay, I'll take it in. If it doesn't, then throw it away, right? So that's kind of like what
Yeah. Yeah.
SF sleep is doing. But anyways, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think yeah, at least with my girlfriend in conversations, like she'll share a screen about like what she likes,
Yeah.
or like she'll show me like a how do
Is
I
your
put this,
girlfriend
like
like an
jewel.
ESFP or something?
I don't know. I think she's an EJ. I think she's FE She might be FESE,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
I have no idea. I have no idea. But I think she's a decider. I don't know.
Okay.
She definitely has FE for sure.
Okay.
Like high up top.
But
But
someone I interviewed thought their girlfriend also their wife also had FE, and then their girlfriend ended up getting time as an ESFP. So
that's so interesting.
it's one
Yeah.
of those things like because like the guy I interviewed his girlfriend had feminine FI, which comes across very FE like, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, so sometimes maybe you should get your girlfriend type 2 and something or something.
Yeah. I think I can bank on feminine feeling. I
Okay.
think I think that.
Okay.
Or feminine DE.
Okay.
So but yeah, like so show me like she does talk now I think about it, my girlfriend does talk a bunch of like SF shit. So yeah, she'll like show me like this cool new food she wants to try, or like jewelry, or like I put this clothes, or like what she wants to buy, stuff like that. It's just so much SF shit, and sometimes I like tune out because my default is
Oh
NT,
my
or
God.
like I know. So she'll
She
like
sounds like an ESFP, dude. You sound
yeah, I know. Maybe.
sounds like it.
But
Anyways, keep
but yeah, yeah. So she'll talk about like a whole bunch of SF shit, and I'll usually probe a lot more because I'm not usually looking at it, so I'm like, okay, what is it that she likes, or what's the general NT pattern of what she likes? So if I were to get a gift later on in the years, I'm like, I don't fuck up on it. So That's like what I'm thinking about, at least with the SF. But yeah, I'll ask her like, oh, do you like gold jewelry, silver jewelry? She likes gold jewelry because like her skin tone is like more yellow, not cool toned or whatever. I think that's something I learned about SF. Or like with
Oh, okay.
jewelry.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like some people have like cooler toned skin so they can wear silver jewelry. And then
Yeah.
if they have yellow skin, they can wear more gold
That's
jewelry
like
or whatever.
all Asians then. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that's mainly what I get off from SF. I can get a lot away from it. I can get away with it a lot by
Yeah.
like ST consuming like TikTok or Instagram. Because I do follow like since I do make music, the whole music scene is like SF.
Right.
So like seeing a bunch of rappers or like producers, they're all kind of airing this SF. Like they'll wear their big fucking chains and like flex money. So
Yeah.
I don't I it's not like I don't see it, but yeah.
But the crazy thing is the best rappers are not lead SFs. The best rappers are
I
all
know,
they're lead
interesting.
NT or NF. Like
Yeah, interesting.
Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, right?
Yeah,
They're all like
right.
Eminem's NT, right? And Jay-Z is like NF, right? So like the best of the
Yeah.
best are
Yeah,
not.
they're all lead NI for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're all lead. Yeah, that's true. I can't think of any like non-NI like rapper. Like
Yeah.
the ones who are like who have like NE, they sing like more like parties, like like LMFO,
Mhm.
like either love songs or like like more like party songs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting for sure. I think they had Nipsey Hussle and Kanye as lead NI and then Eminem too, right? Yeah, like you said.
Nipsey has like the worst like name. That's like the most un-SF name. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that name either.
Yeah. Yeah. But ever like Snoop Dogg, lead NI, like you're a Quadra too, right? Like there's most rappers, you're a
Yeah.
Quadra. Kendrick Lamar, freaking like,
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is also lead NI, so that's
NITI
interesting.
also. Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
Jesus's time as an INFJ, right? And like an INT like a jumper INFJ, right? Like NITI snap
Yeah, I
they
think
consume.
oh yeah, I think I seen it a couple days ago. He was consumed last and then visual.
Yeah, yeah. So like by this, I don't even know how this happened, but like Kendrick Lamar had a music video, like had like a concert, and he dressed like Jesus. He had like the thing on his head and everything. And I was like, deep down inside, this guy knows like his type is Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, this guy knows like
Yeah.
he's the Jesus
Yeah.
archetype.
Yeah. And it's so interesting. Have you seen like the what's it called? The Kendrick Lamar Drake beef recently?
A little bit, but not so.
Yeah,
I just heard about
yeah,
it.
it's so interesting because I think Drake is SCTE or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that, and
yeah,
then Kendrick Lamar is NITI,
yeah.
and then so I think people are saying a bunch of people are saying like at least in the comments I was saying like Kendrick Lamar won the beef, and then they're just saying about how each line he said was like they're trying to like NT his lines, and then
Yeah.
they're saying like, "Oh my God, he's a genius." And then like if they were to like compare back to Drake's lines, they're like, "Ah, this is dog shit," or whatever. But yeah, it's
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because they'll see Kendrick Lamar's lines as genius, or like it'll say like Kendrick Lamar's lines need to be studied, something like that. And it's like that's just so
I see.
interesting.
Oh,
So
it's because
people can kind of see the NT a little
yeah.
bit if they analyze it. So it's
I,
interesting.
I know I have like the same name as him, but like I actually think Kendrick Lamar's songs are not very good. Like I actually think they're all.
I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar either.
Yeah,
So
I tried to get into it because we have the same name as him. So I was like, okay, let's hear. Like I like one of his songs, the one he did with Dr. Dre, but
mm.
everything else, I was like, what's so deep about this? This doesn't sound deep. It sounds stupid. It sounds like
Yeah.
I know I have like TE, right? I'm like, your
Uh-huh.
lyrics are dog. They're shit. Like the best TINI person rapper is Eminem. Like Eminem
hmm
is actually like damn good, and he's actually clever, you know.
hmm
But like,
I've never listened to Eminem.
oh, that's weird. But okay,
I guess I'm young, but I don't know.
oh yeah, I guess he's outside you're too young for. I mean, he's still making music, but I guess he's not like
hmm
what are you like Gen Z, right? Or something. So like
Yeah, Gen Z, I think.
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess he's more like a millennial kind of guy. So like I'm millennial, right? So
yeah.
or like Gen X maybe, but like, but yeah, he's still making music. He's still like SF cool, so he's still relevant, so it's like But like I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to look at like the other, like like Kendrick Lamar is more like your generation, right? He's like more Gen Z, and then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, his songs are not good. Like it's like what is he saying? That I don't understand what's so deep about what he's saying. There's nothing deep about what he's saying. Like there's
Yeah.
there's nothing deep about what he's saying. Like yeah, I know he has NITI, and it's supposed to, NITI is supposed to be like really deep, and like I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
what Eminem saying is like deeper, but this guy like there's nothing deep about what he's saying. So I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. That's just my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm interested though, because you have NETE as a savior, right? So
Yeah,
can you see like NT stuff, like so NETE would be like seeing like all the NT stuff on a spectrum, right?
yeah. I can see all the anti-sleeps, and I can
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
anti-sleeps the best. Yeah,
yeah. Could you just point him out and it's like you're fucking stupid type of thing? Or like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not like a
I
really
100%. I can. Right.
yeah.
Anyone that's lead NT, like
Mhm,
like not just NITIs, but like NITE
mhm.
or what's the other one? NETI, right? Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can look at like the gambit. I'll be like, okay, this person's smart, 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 dumb, 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 right? Like that's like how that's like how I see it.
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
not personal at all, not personal at all. And I'm just like gathering,
Right, right. And I
and I'm
guess I
like,
guess with the yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
and then just for me, it was like, okay, this person's NT's legit, this person's NT's legit, this person's NT legit. I'm gonna follow these guys. These people are hot
Mhm.
trash, and I'll trash them too on my channel. I'll tell people they're
Right.
trash, and it's like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
personal at all. And like obviously I would offend some people with like anti-sleep because like that's super personal to
Yeah.
you guys, Or like for you guys, you
Right.
might take it seriously also because you're like, oh, this person's actually gathering all the NTs. And, he might like, So
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I take what SF plays people say seriously. Like if they say, "Oh, this
Oh,
person's cool, this thing's cool, this thing's cool," I'm like, "Oh, really? Can you tell me more? I actually want to know, like, what makes him cool, right? Like, I'm curious." So like I take that play animal seriously. Like the SF consumers is slightly more biased because it's like there's like an FI element to it, right? So I think like
mm,
SEFE is slightly more like unbiased in terms of like seeing what's like popular, but like
mhm.
the SEFI, there is like that element of like, oh, it's like, oh, it's cool because you like it, but it's not like because like the SE part, yes, you're copying people, like like David Chan said like that. The only people that say gratitude is like FE people and ESFPs, and because ESFPs say a cool thing to say, they copy everyone, right, or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah,
dude,
that
I want to go back to your SF play. So it sounds like you're doing some SF stuff with like your music making and stuff, and like you are consuming it like through TikTok and other sources. Um, and then you're gathering it with your buddy that that has all the drama in college. So like
yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're doing some of it. So it sounds like you're not like it's not completely missing the void. Now, another aspect of play in general is um having a back and forth interaction, but it's energy exchange. Okay. So it's not like information exchange, kind of like what we're doing right now with like this consume and blast. But
Mhm.
it's energy exchange, right? I actually, by the way, I don't think you're the worst at this because I've interviewed a bunch of play last people, and like I actually don't think you're bad at this at all. I actually think you're pretty good at this.
Mhm.
But like, I
Mhm.
want to hear from your perspective. So, like, how are you when it comes to like the exchange of like the back and forth energy, where it's like one person will say something like, it's like fun, right? They'll like do something like retarded and fun with you, and then like you'll like reciprocate and do something
Yeah.
also, and it's like you
Yeah.
go back and
Yeah.
forth. Can you do that, or is it hard, or like how do you personally like experience that?
Yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, I think I feel like my girlfriend's energy dominant. I'm not quite sure. But called she'll like do this thing will she'll like try she'll like try and be silly and she'll like do this weird dance move.
Yeah,
And then like I feel bad because I'm like I don't want to reciprocate back like the weird ass fucking dance move. So
yeah,
so yesterday I was hanging out with her and like she one thing she'll do is like she'll like sing like song lyrics and then like do this weird fucking like dance move to like I don't know try and get a FE reaction out of me. And I'm just like if I don't think it's that funny, I'll kind of just like sit still there and I'm like I don't know. For some reason I just don't want to like reciprocate back like the stupid fucking dance move. Sometimes I can if I'm like because what did they say? They said like play last people have like this massive extroverted swing.
Yeah, yeah,
At least like once a month, something like that.
yeah,
Something like
yeah. You
yeah.
guys do have that crazy SF. Like Tom Cruise is the best example where like the play last week.
Mhm.
You know, you guys
Yeah, yeah,
go
he's
go nuts.
freaking wild.
Yeah,
He's wild. I think I seen that clip. I don't know where he was, but
yeah.
yeah, that
But
was wild.
his plays double masculine though. Yours is not, so it's not gonna be ever
Yeah.
that level.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really notice it um a ton with other people because yeah, I don't know. I just haven't. Maybe I'm just an IP and I can't see other people.
Yeah,
But with her, she'll do it a ton. She'll do the energy dominant thing. Where, like she does dance a ton. She'll like joke and then dance a ton. And I'm just like I can't really do the same. Or I don't know. I just can't do the same back for some reason. This weird obligation to like conserve energy. I would rather just exchange information. I can't really describe it, but
no, dude,
it's
I get
yeah.
you. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's like
I
a
don't know why. Yeah.
no, because that's not in your stack, you know?
Mhm.
Like the energy exchange is it's not in your stack. So like the
Yeah.
way I've seen it is like being infodom is good for work and conversations, but it's bad for
Mhm.
like dating and party, right? Dating and party, you want energy exchange. You don't want freaking like info exchange. That's boring, right? You know, uh
Yeah. Yeah.
so especially if you're SF last, that makes you even worse at like parties and like, situation where you're supposed to be like messing around, not like being serious, right?
Yeah, I think I do know what's interesting enough. It's like when I'm kind of am in the SF play like swing,
Yeah,
it'll be like insane. So um how would I put this? Some examples were like in high school when prom came around, I told myself I was gonna go fucking nuts. I was gonna go nuts. So basically, the first prom, I went nuts, and then everybody would say, like, not everybody, but a couple of people were saying, like, oh, I didn't know you, I don't know, I didn't know you were gonna go that nuts or whatever, like dancing or whatever, some bullshit like that. And then like, I think what's interesting is that, um, at least when I am in the SF play swing, like people like at least with dancing or like in energy with if I'm like with the right people and they're in my like weird box or
yeah,
whatever, it's not hard for me to do the play at all, to be honest. Or not at all. I still think it's hard, but at least if I can't do the play unless they're in my box first, is what I'm like kind of seeing. And like also the energy, the whole dancing energy back and forth thing isn't at least for me, it wasn't too terrible when I'm in the swing
yeah,
kind of thing. I feel like with the energy thing of like exchanging or more so like trying to exchange back like energy, I kind of see it as more of like jokes, but that could be more info dominant things where like if they say one stupid ass joke, I'll try and go back with an even more ridiculous joke. But I feel like I don't know if that's energy or info dominant shit, but yeah, I think
it's a
when
mix of
at
both.
least yeah, yeah. I feel like at least in when I'm in the swing, it's not hard for me to like receive the energy and then ping it back.
I think one of the
But
reasons why you can do it from that perspective is because your SF play is MF. So when there's
mhm,
music involved, that's why you're doing music with your friend, and also like when it comes to like dance and music and stuff. So when you are doing your play with people, it's like music is involved, like the audio is involved. So
mhm.
I think
Yeah, yeah,
your flavor of play is definitely like playing a factor in that. When it's just like straight up like goofing around, you can't do it, right? So like it sounds like music has to be involved for you to do like
yeah.
that
Yeah,
play.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know specifically music, but I think whenever I do SF play, it's more in the more of the way like I'll like shake my head and do like a stupid face. Or like I'll like move my body when I'm doing like play. I think that might be having to do something with like masculine sensory. I don't really know, but
Of being
yeah.
like a audio kinesthetic person.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think for sure I can't really do the I can never it always sucks because like I think my girlfriend is play first, so she'll on default she'll do play when it's like how late at night or whatever when we're on the phone and I'm like tired
yeah,
or like I've already so you would think like plays last it would come out last in the night. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't but like I'm always kind of already defaulting to like sleep. So it's like when she'll do that thing, I'll kind of just like stare at her. It's like the most awkward thing, and I can't like SF play like reciprocate it back, and then like I can see how like awkward it is sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, dude. I want to transition to the last part of our talk, which is going to be your social type. Okay. So you are a social type 3, and the first thing I want to ask you about that is, do you relate with that social typing? I mean, I know you're pretty young, but have you worked before? Like, do you have a job like where you have to specialize, or it's like it's kind of hard to see because you're way too young, like you haven't been in the
Yeah.
workforce
Yeah.
long enough.
Um, yeah, I think kind of recently, yeah, I can see it just a little bit. I think I did consider being a two because I thought I was like because for me I think I related to the two stereotypes where like they kind of see money as like a symbol for freedom because I think generally at least for my life I kind of always wanted to seek independence. But I think with threes or seeing my three-ishness in like work, um yeah, I think I'll kind of see it because so I work at Nordstrom, right? Like this retail job at the moment. But I'll like maybe it could be just like a play last thing, but I think I'll get annoyed when because I to be honest, so there's like multiple jobs or whatever, and like I'm like this floor guy, and apparently the floor guys basically they make all the floor guys play as this sort of like generalist role where like they go kind of everywhere that will kind of just help wherever they can and like kind of spread themselves thin. And I'm like I don't like it because like I one of all first of all like I hate all the other like tasks they make you do. So I'm like there's only one job I kind of like and that's like this one part. So whenever some random customer asks me like hey, can you check this out and like check this like brand out in the store and then like there's like a million fucking brands in the store and like I have to go on like the computer or like the phone to like search it up like I'll immediately it's kind of bad because I'll literally delegate the responsibility onto someone who's more competent at it because I just don't want to deal with it. So like I would rather just stay in like one I did notice like I do want to stay in one part of like the one aspect of that whole job. But yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That sounds like very 3 like. I think when you were talking about like the freedom and the money and the whatnot, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's because you have double masculine ST consume. So that is like activating social type number 2, because consume activates social type number 2, right? So because you're double masculine, you're seeing that very strongly. Um,
Yeah.
so it's gonna cause some social cognitive dissonance in you, because like if you look at your stack, like sleep first is aligned with like number 3, because number threes have savior flex, right? So you have that flex, being part of your
Mm-hmm.
saviors. But like your number 2 is like you're supposed to be like you're supposed to have Savior Blast, but you have a third. So it's not missing. So it's like it's okay, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you have it in a demon state when it should be in a savior state, because like part number 3 is like getting really good at like one thing, right? Or like that specific role
Mm-hmm.
at least. That specific role.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever all the aspect that is entailed in that role, right? So like you have it in a demon state, but it's not missing. So you're gonna be okay with it. And then I guess for you, it's like the only cognitive dissonance is like having high consume. I think that's like the only cognitive dissonance, because like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna make you want to gather skills when really what you want to do is hone.
Yeah.
So it's like a small
Yeah.
thing. It's a small thing, but it's not like a big thing, but it's there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I definitely relate to that because I see I think so in music like I make beats or whatever and then so I don't know the reason why I debated on being three is because like I don't know I don't really like flexing I actually kind of cringe at flexing sometimes so I considered even being a four so that's but I was like but it's not that far down but maybe it could just be me like not understanding flex. But I think I see flex in the way of like putting your name attached to something. So at least for me, so like in music, I make a certain genre and like I make beats a certain way. Like if somebody tries to like affect it and then put my name on it, like I don't like that. Like, oh, it's not my way, it's not my perfect like box, or I don't have complete control of it. So it's like I don't want to put my name on it. I think that's how I kind of see Flex as it is. But I don't really see Flex as in for me as in like the conventional way of like flexing things in general. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different kinds of flex, so
Hmm.
it's hard to say. Like, if you look at Mr. Beast, for example, right? Like he has
Hmm.
NF consume, right? So
Hmm.
like if you look at the way he's flexing, it's not the same as like those ESFPs. Like, most of the YouTubers are ESFPs, right? And then like,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know where like the top guy's like this ENFP guy, right? You know, and then like if you look at what he's
Yeah.
flexing, he's not flexing about blinks, he's not flexing about cars. It's not the same as the ESTPs do, like like flexing about like skills and like strength and all that stuff. It's like he's flexing about his philanthropy work because he's lead NF, right? So like I don't know if you noticed that, but Mr. Beast is always flexing like he has a philanthropy channel. We help 1,000 people be able to see again. I donated this money to like the Twitch streamers. Like his flex is all about like NF stuff. He's flexing about so like people can't see it, but he's flexing about like you know the philanthropy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's still
Hmm.
flex. It's still flex. It's just hard to detect because it's like it's NF. It's not like the traditional flex, right? Of course, he's
Yeah.
also flexing the ST because he has like the number one most subscribed channel in the whole world, right? But
Yeah.
like, but like he doesn't flex about that at all. Like you hardly hear him flex. People like look up to him for that, but he doesn't flex
Yeah.
that. He flex about like the philanthropy stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. But I guess with like your flex, like what do you feel like you flex on? Because I'm curious.
For
Like
me,
since it's a demon, when it does come out, like where do you usually flex?
I the first thing I flex about is travel. So I tell people like, oh yeah,
Mm.
I've been to 100 countries or 101, right? So
Yeah.
so I flex about that. Like yeah, like and the reason why I flex about that is like like I don't want to be like just another generic guy. Like I want to be someone that has like lived life. For me, like having a lot of life experience is something I value
Hmm.
immensely. So like if
Yeah.
people tell me it's like, oh yeah, I've been working in this job for 30 years, like I know I'm kind of like shitting on the number threes. It's not on purpose, but it's like, like I
Hmm.
like for me, I don't value that. Like I mean I value it in the sense of where like I'm happy that number threes exist because like I go to my favorite restaurant and 30 years later they're still there. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I do value it, but like in terms of like what I want for myself, it's like I value life experience and like I need to have a diverse and deep life experience. So for me, like travel is one of the things I flex about because it's like I've been to so many places. You don't even know what like you don't even know what real life is. That's what I kind of like I flex about. Like
Yeah.
it's like you
Yeah.
live in your small bubble your whole life. What do you know, right? Like that's like kind of like
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
flex
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the second thing I flex about is like my YouTube channel. It's like I have like the biggest library for interviews, right? So it's like,
Hmm.
so I do flex about that. It's like, but it's not like a big flex. It's just like, it's like, oh yeah, like that's kind of like in YouTube, like, like what do I have like the most of? I'm like, oh, I have like the biggest library for interviews. Like that's it, right? But like it's not like a big
Hmm.
flex. My biggest flex is still travel. And like the way Dave explained it to me is like, oh, you have chill flex because it's third, right? So it's
Hmm.
not like cringe like when you have flex first, where it's like it becomes cringy. It's like you tell people,
Yeah.
hey, been to 100 countries, drop and then stop, and I don't talk about it anymore, right? And it's like
Yeah.
drop and go, kind of like that's chill flex. Is said drop
I
and get
know.
out,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Even if I am a social side three, being like flex second, right?
Yeah.
I still kind of relate to that, like the whole part of like, you say it and then you drop it type of thing. I don't really like to. I'd rather just let the work speak for more itself. But then when it does have to be said, like I'll say it, but like I don't want to like go all in on like the flex part, like, yeah, this is what I do or whatever. Things like that.
This is why I was asking you earlier about the ST consume projection because you said let the work speak. You're projecting competence. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
probably. Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you just
Actually, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think I do. Yeah, I do see it now.
yeah, you
Yeah.
make good music. That's your flex.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think Yeah, I think that's where mainly like my flex comes in. Where like so uh I've been making beats since like 2020, and then I kind of got started getting good around like year and a half ago. But basically that's where I put like all my flex kind of for like if I'm good at something, I'm good at this one thing for sure. And like if I don't like how like a certain I do care a lot about the work or like how the process goes. So if it's like if I don't like how the thing sounds at the end of it, like I don't want to put my name on it because then I'm like now that's attached to me because it's like that's my area of work that like I feel like I can not put all my eggs in one basket, but I feel like I can bank on like yeah, that's I feel like that's what I'm good at type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's maybe kind of like Marcus Brownlee, like like he puts in his name on his channel. He's like the reviewer guy, and he's like the best at reviewing tech
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also I think I related to I think David Shan also did a class on Kurt Cobain like a couple
Oh,
weeks ago.
I'm a
Yeah, and
big.
it's yeah. I think his way of like explaining like his work process of like at least with the music videos because I think he's visual, right? He's
Yeah,
visual, blast, sleep, consume, play.
yeah.
And then I think his way of like explaining the music videos is like he cares about the process of like how it's made and it has to be like made like his certain way, certain like control. I feel like I relate to that a lot though, for sure.
It's crazy. He's tribe above self. He seems like self above tribe, from
Yeah.
first glance.
Yeah.
But he's number
Right.
three. So Demon Friends and Play Last. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know. I think it's the masculine FE too. That's like a kind of shovey a little bit. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess so. It's like kind of like
I
breaking rapport almost, like the tonality.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Masculine FE is like something I'm still trying to like look at. I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it. And it's like kind of interesting to me.
Oh, like for
Like
me,
masculine or like
masculine
masculine
FB and
T, yeah.
feminine FB are so different. It is insane. They're so
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like I think most people see FE as like feminine FB, but like when you see masculine FE, it's like, what is this? What like
Yeah, I
it's
yeah.
it's not friendly. It's offensive. It's like it's
Yeah.
like isn't FE supposed to make people feel good? But it's like masculine FE doesn't
Yeah.
make you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could say like with masculine TE, it's like it's pretty abrasive, but masculine FE is like super abrasive because like they're like trying to hit at your emotions.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
100%.
like I don't know. I get kind of uncomfortable when it like a masculine DE starts pushing on me. I'm like, get off of me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah. The good thing about masculine FE though is if you push back to them, they can take it no problem. So
Yeah,
like
that's something where like I can't admire where like they don't really they're not too like or at least if you don't get to their feminine DI, then it's like it's totally chill if you get like say some bullshit with them.
oh yeah, like once you're inside their inner world, then they see you as feminine and it's like, oh, they're nice to you. It's kind of weird, once you're
Mm-hmm.
in. But yeah. All right, dude. We're gonna wrap up the interview here. So yeah, thanks for coming out, reaching out and doing this interview. I know you're play last, so I give you big props for that, like play
Yeah,
last, like reaching out to do an interview. That's definitely growth mindset. So I give you
yeah,
that. I give you
yeah.
the flowers for that, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, take care, man.
Take care.